Our executive session was held just to talk about our AWS contract. No action was taken during that time. We need a motion to come out of executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second. All those in favor of coming out of executive session, by show of hands. All right. Next item.
All right, yes, I'm going to go through the financials and just wanted to kind of give you an idea that we are essentially 8 months into our year, our fiscal year, which started July 1st. So right now, our revenues are at approximately 32% for the year, or our year-to-date actual is at 2.3, roughly $2.4 million. We're waiting for business licenses to come in, not overly concerned, and we know that our growth in the coming year and even this year would probably be at about 1%. So we're really looking at not a lot of growth when it comes to taxes and revenues. Our expenditures are at approximately 55%, which is good, which is, kind of in line where we are. We're over 50% of the fiscal year. Our water fund, we did do an increase because of the fact that we have work on our water and sewer system, and so our year-to-date actual right now is at 110%, and our expenses are at 41%. So our expenses for water is about roughly $599,796 year-to-date. Last year, just to give you an example, it was a little over $1 million. So very pleased with the fact that our expenses are tracking lower. And the sewer fund, we're at 87% of what our revenues were, and our expenses are at about 65%. Over the weekend, we did have essentially a fourth break in our force main line. So the mayor and I are working on getting easements because we have a grant. And the last piece before we can actually begin actually moving forward with putting out a bid for the construction of it is actually getting the easement. So I think we're working through that. We hope to have all of them done by next week. And also, just FYI, for your knowledge, we have done some reorganization of the utility billing department. Nikisha Izard has been promoted to the utility billing customer care manager, and her job has just strictly been working on our aged accounts, the accounts that are over 90 days, 60 days, 30 days, and she's been very aggressive about making sure that, number one, she's talking to people. We're sending out blue letters to let people know they're over 60 and 90 days. And in January, she did it. We had about 181 accounts that were over 60 or 90. This month, that has whittled down to about 100, and I think it's even going to get better. She's working and going out in the field with the meter techs, and even though folks don't kind of understand this, our ordinances calls for folks' water to be turned off after 60 days. So that sounds a little cold, but if we do that, then they're not getting thousands of dollars worth of water bills. So that's what we're really trying to prevent. We will work with people and put them on payment plans, and we also have coins to care. So I just wanted to let y'all know that I'm being very aggressive about making sure that, number one, we're talking to people, we're working with them compassionately, but that we're actually making sure that people kind of pay what they owe, because what happens is, if only a few of us are paying, then there has to be increases. But if we're actually collecting the money and not letting things go to 60 and 90 days and waiting till the end of the year to send it to debt set-off, then we can actually make sure that we're having the revenues. And what people don't often realize is, when we have to do upgrades to our wastewater treatment plant, we're paying for it. I pay a water bill, y'all are paying water and sewer bills. And so when we have to actually pay back on that, we're servicing the debt. So that's one of the reasons why water and sewer bills go up. But I will tell you, we definitely could do a much better job of making sure that we're collecting and get our collections rate up compassionately, but just not letting things go. We really should have very few customers that are in that 90-day. So, but she's doing a really great job, and I think probably within the last, 10 days, collected about $20,000 in overdue bills, just talking to people and working with them. Okay? All right, Glenn.
Mayor and council, I'll present with you for your consideration of payment, the bill list for February. 10 items on the bill list. Are there any
Okay.
questions?
Okay, the floor is now open for a motion to approve bills items 1 through 10. Questions after. That's approved.
Second.
Properly moved in second. Now your question.
Okay, item number 10, Hood Construction. What occurred to create a refund for the building permits?
Okay.
$13,559.73.
Okay, this was essentially about a $500,000 project, and they didn't wind up going through with it. So we did charge them the fee for plan review, and I think there might have been business license and other fees we did get with it, but this project didn't go through. So they know that when they get ready to actually do this, if and when they get ready to do this, this is the property on Ackline that's next to the stable. That's next to the stable. So we did charge them for a demolition permit, because they did do some demo, but they didn't go through with doing the entire construction of it.
That's so signed up.
Yes, yes.
I mean,
So,
what happened that they didn't?
I don't know. Yeah, so, but we did charge them what we issued, and also the work that was done. Do you wanna add?
No, yeah, this is actually the balance due to them. We took everything that was applicable to the project based on what they were paid.
Okay, that's the 13,000.
And none of the review fee was returned to them because the review of the plans had already been completed.
Mhm.
And they understood that.
So that's that 13,559.73.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, any other questions?
That is actually.
That's the Main Street improvements for 880.
Several years ago, you all approved Main Street improvements that also included the roundabout,
Mhm.
and that has been in litigation. That probably can be, I don't know, are you able to address that, or because it's going through the courts, or do you have to wait?
I strongly considered it prior to, but I don't think I'll address it at a subsequent council meeting.
So essentially, this has been litigated for what, a year and a half? 2 years?
2 years.
Okay, this has been litigated, predates me really. But essentially, when we did the appraisal, that has all been done, that was all done in open session. This is the amount that was offered based on the appraisal, and so we have to actually escrow this amount. So, Charlie, is that?
That's right. It is essentially, it is following through on a prior resolution y'all passed relative to the condemnation some years ago on the appraisal for the property involved in the litigation.
All right, any other questions? If none, all those in favor by show of hands?
I didn't see who did the second. Plaza made a motion, who did the second?
Mr. Scott.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Okay. All right, the next item is council members' reports, and we'll start on you in this time since we're in the second time.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready to go home. Thank y'all for coming.
All right. Nicole?
Second that. Thank you all for coming out.
I second that. Thank you all for coming. But listen up, at the end of Carver and Morris Streets, those potholes are back again at the intersection.
Actually, I will send you a copy of the letter that another letter that we sent to DOT regarding the paving of Carver Street and some of the other streets that are in the neighborhood that need paving. So I'll make sure we put that, or send it to you in an email or something tomorrow, so you all will be aware of the streets that we're urging them to assist us in getting them paved.
Is Graham Road in that letter too?
Graham Road is actually, according to what I have, the response I've gotten, it's already been programmed in, they just have not given me a set date as to when it will be paid. Okay, so so we're working. Okay, all right, Bill.
Ladies, happy Valentine's.
Oh, thank you.
Get everybody.
Can we get a song?
See.
Can we get a song? Can we get a song?
Then you come over in the house. First he serenades him, then he,
That was so sweet.
We can't get a song?
No, not today.
Call your wife and tell her what you said.
Ms. Scott?
Right, in the front of my house, there's a sign saying, Ames Construction. They've been there for a couple of years now.
What is it?
A construction sign saying it's in right there on Beauregard and Woolmart.
End construction.
Yeah,
That was because of, Ron McNair.
where am I there?
Mhm.
Oh, but on Beauregard.
Yeah, when they put the signs out, like the ones you got they put up on the streets here.
Yeah.
They go farther down than where they're actually paved to. But the paving is actually, that was when they were doing 52.
Oh, that don't, okay, I didn't know something worked there.
Yeah, they didn't actually work on Beauregard Street, they worked on
Right,
52.
it just
But that was the
sounded-
end of the construction zone.
So who needs to be notified to come?
Okay.
Howard Department, they can.
Okay, and on the corner there, the sign was down, but I saw it up today, so someone replaced it.
Yeah, well, they put the other one back up.
Yeah, they
There
put
wasn't
the walls
anything
back
wrong
up.
with it, it just was sitting on.
They all
the
fell
ground.
down with that hard wind. Yeah, I see. And, that's about it.
Okay, Ms. Stephanie?
It was encouraging news about our senior center and their accreditation, and only being 200 centers out of 15,000.
And make no
that have
mistake
that
about it,
5 years.
she was humble about it, but that would not have happened without Cynthia and without the support of the city because of the fact that we actually maintain that
Well, that's,
building.
oh,
So,
right. Senior
I'm very
centers,
proud
we've
of
really
her.
got something to be proud of.
I'm very proud of it.
And our, and I know there's concern in the whole community about the youth and families, and I know that will continue to be addressed. And I think it's a great thing that the police chief is doing, not on the city's dime, a 3-day festival for youth. That's got to help, it's got to help. And I want to wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you.
We'll see you next month.
All right, I have a list. Everybody else got finished, I'm gonna finish my list quickly. First of all, rest in peace, Dr. Faustine Baker. She was eulogized and funeralized on Saturday, and most of you all remember her from the post office. Council members, ethics filing due by March 30th. Census April 1st, not an April Fool's joke. Thanks to all that participated in the event on Eugene Street on Saturday, from the Florence County Sheriff's Office, Masonic guys, Stephanie and members from the city, Omegas, Deltas, Kappas, and community. Municipal Association we went to this past week. Again, we're one of the few towns or cities that that are still on the honor roll. So thanks for everybody for going to classes when you go off. Wanted to mention that Florence County Disabilities Foundation is selling their annual barbecue tickets, so there's some available at the reception area in the office. And last but not least, Strengthening Families was indicated. And how long have we been doing Strengthening Families, Sandra?
This is the 4th year.
4th year, so it's not something new. Just want you all to know that we've been participating in that for the past years.
Yes.
All right?
And then the qualifying child is between 6 and 11 years old. She mentioned 6 years old, but it's 6 to 11 years
How
old.
many people do y'all have attending?
You have to,
It's the whole family.
yeah,
I mean,
some families have mother, father, and 1 or 2 children. Some have 5 children, mother. This is a
how many have
combination.
y'all touched in,
Oh, my
4
gosh.
years?
I'd have to get the statistics on that, but
I mean, I'm
we
just
service,
curious.
I would say, probably, I'd venture to say since it started, maybe 100 children, maybe. And then they really, because they really enjoy it. Last year we had Dr. Brown and his wife and their grandchildren, and the grandchildren's mother. We had a former retired school teacher who has a foster child, and now she has 2, but they cannot come back because they've already completed the program. But it's a very, very, very effective program. It teaches about family dynamics, parents and children being able to relate to each other, effective communication skills, just talking to your children.
Sitting down
About
and eating with them.
yeah, 'cause we have a family style.
So why does it have to be 6 to 11? Why can't you have a 16-year-old?
Well, if you have a 16-year-old in the family, that 16-year-old can still come. But the qualifying child
you gotta have a 6 to
has to, you have a child 6 years old, qualifying 6 years old.
Okay, well, I want to thank everybody, Stephanie, William, and Teresa, and Charlie, guys, appreciate it. And motion to adjourn. All those in favor? Aye.